Okay, I hope everyone is doing well today. This is Monday evening, and looking forward to educating you on water consumption and what we should be taking in, and by what means, and how much we need, and all those different things. So this is one of my favorite topics. I have a lot of favorite topics, so I probably shouldn't say that, but water is so important, and especially with what does water have to do in voting, right? Like right now we're in a obviously crucial time here. And so for those who are tuning in during this time, you want to make sure you drink enough water, because without enough water, the dehydration and confusion in the brain could have you vote for the wrong person. So whatever that is, hope you find that little humor in our water talk today. But this is what we're going to talk about. We need to be aware about how much water is necessary for all of our organs to run efficiently. And just being dehydrated 2% can have a huge effect on our overall body systems and organs, and even our mental capacity of thinking straight, clearly, having energy, fatigue, all that kind of stuff. So it's really exciting to talk about. One thing I always talk about is people have had confusion, and people have asked us back in the day when I would be teaching on the subject, is how can the brain be 75% water and 60% fat at the same time? So let's just get that one right out in the open right there. So we'll be going through that. And just so you know, depending on where you research, even different governmental agencies may have a little bit of a different percent with water. Some say it's 75, some say it's 80, some say it's 85, but give or take 5-10%. Okay, but nevertheless, the majority of our body is made up out of water, and it's really important to be aware. So this is what happens, because math is not my specialty. So 60% fat, 75% water. The brain is 75% water when the water is in our body, but when it's removed and the water has been drained, then the 60% is the remaining dry weight of the brain solids, and the brain is made up of 60% fat. So it's like really smushy, jello-y, thicker than that, cartilage feeling kind of thing, consistency sort of, right? And so the statement is true, although obviously depends on if one is drained or not. It's really important to get enough good fat, which is a different topic that we'll talk on the future. But since we're bringing these two subjects up together, I'm just going to go over that just for a smidge of something. So the brain, once again, is 60% fat, and we need to make sure that we get enough of that good fat, but it's run on glucose in the body. And so when we talk about good fats and bad fats, a good fat would be cold pressed olive oil. There's 4 different presses for olive oil, so you want to make sure you get cold pressed. Organic, unrefined is the key word here. Coconut oil is really good. It's very high in lauric acid. Of course, avocados, avocado oil, nuts, seeds, fish, butter, ghee. These are all some good fats. One point though is if you're having nuts for good fat, you have to make sure that you soak your nuts first. So like almonds are supposed to soak, I believe, 8 hours before you consume them, because nuts and beans are like the same kind of thing, and you don't have the enzymes to break those down. So sometimes people can eat organic nuts or whatever, and they get a stomach ache. The reason why is because this food's in your stomach for 4 hours before it goes through the small intestine, and it needs a good 9 hours to even break down to be able to digest in the body. So if you soak them overnight, a handful, because you can eat a handful the next day, then that can ensure you that you get your good fats and protein from that nut source. Okay, bad fats would be processed foods, oils, hydrogenated oils. I don't believe in canola oil, vegetable oil, peanut oil, soy oil, margarine. I can't believe it's not butter. All those kind of things are really bad for you. I believe they create a problem in your brain for Alzheimer's and dementia, memory loss, even with a detriment to people with ADD or autism, any kind of cognitive issue. Not having enough good fats is a problem. Eating those bad fats is really going to be detrimental to you as well. So those are just some things that food for thought. Since, I don't even know what year it was, but I don't know if it was like the 70s or what, but, everything went to like artificial sweetener and, no good fats. They're like, oh, that's really bad. You're gonna, even 13 years ago when I was teaching, gosh, who was that? Reader's Digest said how bad coconut oil was for you. I'm like, no, it's not. That's a good fat to help your heart, your mind, your brain, your lubricate your joints, all that kind of stuff. So they've really demonized having good fats, but really this is what we need to help out our whole body. So moving forward, another class for good fats one day, but just briefly touching on it because it's really just as important as water. You can't live without water. You could live without good fats, but not very well cognitively and organ-wise. So, okay, so the brain is 75% fat, or excuse me, water, and over 2/3 of your whole human body weight is water. 82 to 90% of your blood is water, and your lungs are 90%. So these numbers, I love these stats when you look up medical stuff about how much fluid is really in our bodies. And of course, if you realize if you don't drink water or enough or the bad kind, what it can really do to you, and how detrimental it is. So just being 2% dehydrated, which if you already have, I can always tell when my sons are dehydrated because I can tell by looking because their lips are already cracked. And so obviously I'm like, okay, you need some water. They drink some water and their lips plump back out. I mean, it's just like that simple for them, right? But if you even get parched and you're dry in the mouth, that already means that you're dehydrated. Okay, like you are already dehydrated. And you shouldn't just go drink like a whole, liter, 2 liters or whatever of water and just like chug it. If you can, space it out throughout the day so you're not like flooding yourself with it. And of course, if you're working on a goal, don't wait till bedtime to finish all of it because now you're gonna be up all night peeing. So you just want to make better choices. If you don't finish the allotted amount for that night, which we'll talk about, for that day, then surely don't necessarily drink the rest at bedtime, okay? Because then we need you to get good sleep as well. So just 2% of dehydration and the loss of the sodium and electrolytes that's caused by that can cause memory and attention issues just off the bat, right? They say that 75% of adults with mild or even chronic dehydrations leads to literally daytime fatigue, backaches, headaches, mineral imbalances, digestive problems, hunger pains, sugar cravings, which is really important, and it's all caused by dehydration. So if you don't have, like, you think of your body as like let's just say a piece of pizza, right? Like you got a thing of pizza and there's 8 slices, and you pull out 3, and let's just pretend like that's the water element, and you give you're hungry, you're not feeling good, you're trying to boost yourself up, you have some sugar, have like candy, your cells gonna be like, it's gonna be like crack to it. So it's gonna like stimulate it and want more of it. But if you would have had the right nutrition, the right hydration, when you eat that, you won't crave and want more. So once you start changing over your lifestyle, you'll notice that to be true. But right now, it's maybe hard to imagine if you haven't started changing your lifestyle with that yet. So it's really interesting. Just being dehydrated, 2% can cause all those different issues, okay? Our poor kidneys, oh my gosh, our kidneys are working 24/7. Okay, our kidneys, 2 little kidneys right here, they need water, okay? And they are supposed to filter 200 liters, which is almost 53 gallons, just short of 53 gallons of blood each day. And if you have stagnant swamp blood because you're not drinking any water, and by the way, water does not count the water that you put in your tea, your coffee, your carbonated beverages, which are really bad for the kidneys, and they sequester the calcium out of the bone. So I don't believe in carbonation at all. Of course, alcohol would be dehydrating, energy drinks, whatever, okay? whatever drinks you drink. And someone even said, well, I think I swallow a little bit when I brush my teeth. I'm just like, okay, well, that surely doesn't count. Okay. If you're not consuming water, hold on, decline. Okay. If you're not consuming an adequate amount of water, then there's no way that your cells can reach. Now just got me off topic here. Sorry. I was just getting a live call in, so that I had to cut that down. Let me go back to here. All those other beverages do not count as water. Water counts as water. There is one exception, and I'll tell you about it in a second, but we'll go over that in a minute. So we have to make sure we drink enough water, because otherwise your blood is going to be like swamp blood. And let's just say, for the sake of argument here, that let's say that your blood is always flowing in a river throughout your whole body at like 75 miles an hour. And let's say you just had a donut and a cheeseburger and a shake, and you haven't had any water yet today. We already know that you're going to start getting tired and the effects of that, right? Because you're like, oh my gosh, I just ate all this stuff. Well, your blood is going to go back down to like, let's say like 15, maybe 20 miles an hour, but it should be running at 75 to have everything filtering correctly, and circulation, the blood flow throughout the body and your brain and everything, all the way from your brain all the way down to your toes and up and throughout the whole body, right? So when you don't have enough water, just having water alone, if you ate that food, would help circulate things throughout the body better. But so we want your blood to be liquid enough with the right hydration in it to be able to filter, so your blood can always be running above 60 and not below. So that depends on what you're doing. Part of drinking water actually helps you with your saliva to create the enzymes that you need. And I'm not sure if you've ever heard your mother tell you this, but you're supposed to chew your food 22 times, 32 times, that kind of stuff. And if you've ever heard that, the person, whoever told you, is totally correct, because what happens to actually make the enzyme called amylase, you have to chew at least 22 times. And there's like a little hole underneath your tongue where, have you ever seen someone like chewing and talking at the same time and see something squirt out? That's what that is. And that's amylase. And that's an enzyme, that your body makes to help digest and process, so you can assimilate the nutrients from complex carbohydrates. So like your stomach should never know what, and this is another topic, I'm trying to stay on topic today with water, but your stomach should never know that you just had a banana or apple or pizza or some whatever, right? It shouldn't know what you had. It should look like a bag of Skittles minus the Skittles inside your stomach. And your food should be so broke down it looks like mashed potatoes, okay? The consistency, let's say, because your stomach does not have teeth and it can't break down the food that well if you don't have the adequate amount of enzymes. So that's why I don't have any right here, but I think I took them all downstairs. But that's why I take enzymes with every single meal, because if you eat anything out of a can, bag, or a box, of course, it's going to be enzyme deficient. If you overcook it, it's going to be enzyme deficient. That's number one. But also, it helps you to digest, process, and assimilate your nutrients. So water is very important. Let's see here, make sure I don't forget anything. One thing that you can drink, which is exciting because I've been doing it for the last 13 years. I got a piece of paper here so I can show you this. So hold on, let me just move this away a little bit so I can make sure I can see what you guys see. So I'm just taping this to my glass right here so you can see what it looks like. Oh, let me go down a little bit further. So most people probably know, but I drink essential oils. Oils and water don't mix. So you can literally still drink the oils, the Vitality or the Plus blend and or variety, and still taste things that are delicious, because most of the time I just drink water and Ninja Bread and that's it. And I like flavor my water. Young Living just came out with something that does have electrolytes, and it's called Young Living Vitality Drops, and it's an electrolyte blend with the stevia in it, which is a good sweetener. Tastes delicious. I totally love it. And I just started drinking this, like, I think in August. They've had it before that, but first time I got it, I'm like totally addicted. I love it because for years, like I may drink organic lemonade once in a while. I may have orange juice once in a while, but usually I just drink water or NutriRed and that's it for 13 years. So here we go. I love, this is clove, okay? And clove is actually one of the highest antioxidants per, when you look at the food chart from the FDA and all that, about how many free or antioxidant properties it has. But I'm allowed to tell you that clove helps to promote a healthy immune response and may support overall wellness. But you'll see that this is a thick oil, so it's just sort of fun to watch, show you. So this is what I'm going to show you. Okay. So hopefully you can see like a whole big drop dropped in there. Okay. So you can see it, sort of see it's going down to the bottom. It's so cool. Cinnamon bark. Oh my gosh. I love cinnamon so much. I'm going to do this one for you. Hold on. Let's see what happens if you see this. I just opened this bottle. So come on, Mr. Cinnamon. So you can sort of see that dropping down through there. These are thick oils where some are not. And cinnamon bark, my gosh, it smells so good. Helps to support a healthy immune system, has antioxidant properties, maintains a healthy lifestyle regimen just by drinking this. Spicy addiction, it really has like the aroma and the flavor is just addictive. And you just can go like this, where's my cinnamon bark? And put it on your tongue. It's like, oh my gosh. You don't want to rub it off your face because it's a hot oil. So I've done that before and you turn all red wherever you put it. So if you're using it topical, you definitely use a carrier oil. And it includes natural occurring constituents of cinnamine halide, which I'll post that word. I know I just said it wrong. I butchered it. Nevertheless, I can't tell you what that means, but you can go Google it for yourself. So the next one, let me just do this, hold on, is cinnamon, or excuse me, is thieves. And thieves is a blend of cinnamon, eucalyptus, clove, rosemary, lemon, and so you can see it hopefully going down through there. But when you look at the bottom, oopsie, when you look at the bottom, you can see all the oils, which is like sort of like cool. And if I shake it up a little bit, you'll see the oil molecules like floating around. And this is what I literally drink. So I don't usually put that much clove in mine, but just drinking for funsies. And clove, once again, is sort of like a hot oil. So if you get it somewhere, then you put a little carrier oil on it, which is coconut oil. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that's one thing that I do to drink. And because when I was just drinking that or putting that, I got clove on the lid. And so I can definitely feel my lip a little hot, right? So I'm just going to use my Young Living lip balm, which is petroleum free because I don't do petroleum based products. And I can put that on my lip and then it won't be hot anymore. So there we go. So back to water. I just want to tell you all the different things that I do with my water because I believe in it. And I've been consuming oils for years and you have to learn about how and why because everything I can't mention. But when you look up the properties, it is amazing to see what it does. And most of us have heard what powdered cinnamon does. You can only imagine what the liquid oil does. So continuing on, and I have a few more minutes, so this is good. I'm trying to stick to a great time frame here. So just drinking water will help you with lubricating the joints, which we all need to get up, to get down, to get out of bed, play on the floor with the kids or the dog, all of that, okay? So it's really important as a shock absorbing ability for the joints to have water, okay? Once again, we just talked about it, but it helps to form saliva and mucus, which we definitely need for our eyes, nose, mouth, our ears. We also need it for the whole process, once again, of creating enzymes. So very important. We also need it for to prevent tooth decay, to help filter things throughout our body. It helps deliver oxygen through the body because water is in the blood, and the more water we have, the circulation is better throughout our body. So it's very important to that. If you're into beauty and healthcare, if you don't drink water, if you just start drinking water, you'd have a less opportunity to gain wrinkles in your skin. So just that alone can help with the plumpness of your skin and helping decrease aging lines and wrinkles and all that kind of stuff. One way you can always know if you're dehydrated is that if you pinch your skin right here, and sometimes this can happen to people where you pinch and it stays pinched up or it goes down really slow, and it doesn't have the good elasticity there, that usually means that you're dehydrated. So it's called tenting, and that's a good way to know if you are or not. Having enough fluid helps to regulate the body's temperature. So it's very important for that as well. Let's see. Oh, very important. I mean, all these things are important. I should just stop saying that. Is that you need enough water and sodium to help the electrons fire correctly the information needed for the brain to communicate for the rest of the body. So it's not my hand that goes to pick up this water. It's my brain that's sending a signal to go do this, to pick up this water, to take a drink, or to do whatever. So to walk, talk, think, remember, we need sodium for the neurons, but we also need water to help that process. Because our body is electrical, right? We are electrical beings. Our heart has a beat to it. Our neurons are firing electricity through our body. We all have an energy and a frequency. And depending on what we have going on inside of it, we have minerals, vitamins, water, good fats, proteins, all that kind of stuff is all equally important, but water is what sustains life. Okay. We could not have enough protein or good fats and stay alive for a long time. You're not going to stay alive as long without water. Okay. I'm not going to go over necessarily what kinds of water today, because that is a whole nother class in itself. I have an alkaline water machine. I don't drink alkaline water every day because it's not good to do it every single day of your life for the rest of your life. I don't believe, but making sure you have a good filtered water of some way, shape, or form, okay, is important. And if you have the ability, if you have a well or this or that, you can always get your water tested, make sure it's not too high in arsenic or other different things, okay? Or lead. I live in Flint, Michigan. People in Flint should not be using their tap water, that's for sure. Obviously, our digestive system is 70 to 80% of our immune system. So it's very imperative that you get water, and that is going to be one of the main things that help you not get constipated and be able to have your bowels work correctly, so that toxic matter is just not leaching through your digestive system into the rest of your body. Okay, so it helps to flush out waste. And usually we think about waste as just urine and bowel movements, fecal matter, but there's lung waste too that comes out. So we need water for that. Water is very important to help maintain a normal, healthy blood pressure level. We need it for our airways. We need it to help the mineral and be more accessible to our bodies. There's minerals that I take, and I'm going to tell you, I know some people like the taste of this. I think it tastes like ionic minerals, which it is, and it tastes nasty. I don't even want to drink this stuff, but this actually lights up a light bulb by itself. It is alive. It's ionic. It gives you like so much energy just drinking this. Like, I don't want to because I know what it tastes like, but I know the after effects of what's going to happen when I do. And so I'm more than willing to do it. But this is mineral essence, and it's ionic minerals. Let me see what else I'm allowed to say here. Let's see here. It is enhanced with, it's a full spectrum ionic mineral complex. I am allowed to tell you that. So that is exciting. It does help keep your immune system where it should be and maintain your already normal, healthy immune system. It does light up a light bulb. It's excellent. Not so good on the taste, but whatever. Do what you want to do to maintain good health, right? So if you don't know already, I'm 51, and I've been blessed because of all the lifestyle changes that I've made, not to have any prescriptions or store-bought medicines in over 13 years, August 1st. So that is pretty significant because, and I was just on a ladder, a neighbor saw me. They're like, what are you doing on a ladder? I was just on my roof, which our pitch is like very steep. I don't even know what it is, but it's steep. I still can do all these things. We just planted a new rock path garden. It was a lot of work. It's heavy, squatting all day, doing this, getting up, standing. Just, I can do those things. So that is really exciting. And of course, we just talked about one of the other main things that we need so much is to prevent kidney damage. And the main way to do that is to, of course, not consume chemicals and sodas and different things like that, but to make sure that you consume enough water. So what is enough water? Enough water is when you have half your body weight in ounces of water a day. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should drink at least 100 ounces of water a day. Should your water be yellow? No. Should it be dark brown? No. It should be more like a light yellow, clear tint to it, right? And no matter what color your urine is, if you held up to a light or, you know, a window or a lamp or whatever, it should be clear. Even if it's a yellow, it should be clear. A yellow would mean that you're not drinking enough water, okay? But if it looks like there's fish food in there and it's all like flaky and weird looking, that means it's usually some kind of an infection. Just as a visual, if you're not sure what's going on, you could pee in a cup and look in a window. And of course you can go see your doctor, but you could, if it looks like fish food or like you just had backwash of crackers, most likely you got an infection. Of course, it can help boost performance for energy, and we need it for hydration and movement for the whole body. It can help promote weight loss and reduces the chance of a hangover. I don't promote alcohol anyhow, but whether it's a sugar hangover or alcohol hangover, you know, obviously there's things that you can do. So once again, your kidneys filter, I think it was up to 53 gallons of blood a day is supposed to circulate throughout your body to go to your brain, just everywhere in your body. It's a circulation system, right? If you don't have enough good water, it's not going to work right. And then you're going to start to have problems with memory, illness and disease, fogginess, cognitive impairment, all of that. So we really want to make sure you have a great amount of water. We'll have a graphic that goes along with this later on, but of course I can't post an image while I'm doing a live at the same time. So we're going to get this all together. It's a brand new teaching series I'm going to be doing. And so I'm excited. This is something, I've been getting a lot of questions. This is something that you can share with whomever you want to. Right now it's right here on Facebook. It will be on YouTube. When I get it all up there, then I'll make sure you know about that. And if you want to know when I'm going live, you can click on this video when I'm done and go to the 3 little dots on top and say, please notify me when Stacey Kimbrell is going live. If you're just tuning in for the first time and you don't know me or what I'm doing or why, I have a book. It's called Living Balanced. It's on health and nutrition and chemical awareness. And each chapter is 1 page to 8 pages long. And it's just like the nitty gritty of what you need to know about health and nutrition and chemical awareness. So I hope you all have a blessed day. If you have any thoughts or questions, please put them in the comments and I'll get to them and answer them. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.